You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and even though you slept enough hours, your body still feels heavy, your joints are stiff, your mind is foggy, and no amount of coffee seems to completely fix it. Most people just accept it. They tell themselves it is age, it is stress, it is just how life is now. But what if that heaviness has nothing to do with how old you are? What if it comes from something much smaller, something happening deep inside your cells that you cannot see or feel directly, but that affects everything? Right now, inside every one of your 37 trillion cells, broken parts are slowly piling up. Damaged proteins, worn out energy factories, cellular waste that has been sitting there for months, sometimes years. And your body actually has a system designed to clean all of it up. It has had this system since the day you were born. The problem is, for most of us, that system is barely getting a chance to do its job. Now you have probably heard that the only way to activate this cleanup is through extreme fasting. Going 48, 72, or even more hours without food. And honestly, that scares a lot of people away. But what if there are simpler, gentler ways to support this process? Ways that actually fit into your real life? That is exactly what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through what this cellular cleanup system really is, why modern life keeps accidentally shutting it down, and what you can do about it. No extreme measures, no suffering, just real science you can actually use. One quick note before we dive in. This is educational content, not medical advice. If you have any health conditions, please talk to your doctor before making changes to your eating habits. All right, let us start from the very beginning because I think this is where most videos on this topic go wrong. They jump straight into complicated science, throw around terms most people have never heard of, and leave you more confused than when you started. I do not want to do that. So here it is, as simply as I can explain it. Every cell in your body is like a small room, and over time, just like any room, things inside it start to break down. Proteins get damaged and stop doing their jobs. The tiny structures that produce energy called mitochondria start working less efficiently and begin creating harmful waste as a side effect. Old broken parts just sit there, taking up space and causing problems. Your body has a built-in solution for this. It is called autophagy, which literally means self-eating in Greek. Before that scares you, let me explain what it actually means because it is not as dramatic as it sounds. When autophagy is active, your cells basically do a deep clean. They look around inside themselves, identify the parts that are broken or worn out, and wrap those parts up. Then, they deliver them to a recycling center inside the cell. That recycling center breaks the old parts down into raw materials. And then here is the beautiful part: the cell uses those same raw materials to build brand new, healthy components. So your cells are not just throwing out garbage, they are turning garbage into fresh building blocks. It is recycling at the most fundamental level of life. Why does this matter so much? Because the damaged proteins that autophagy clears are the same type linked to conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. The worn-out mitochondria it removes are directly connected to fatigue and accelerated aging. And the cellular debris it recycles is associated with chronic inflammation, the kind that slowly damages tissues over years without you even noticing. The catch is that autophagy naturally slows down as you get older. By your 50s or 60s, the cleanup system is working slower while damage accumulates faster. The garbage piles up quicker than the crew can handle. So how do you help it along? To answer that, you need to understand something important. about how your body operates on a daily basis. And once you see this, I promise you a lot of the confusing, contradictory health advice you have heard over the years will start making sense. Your body runs in two fundamental modes. Think of them as two different shifts at a workplace. The first is building mode. When you eat, your body detects nutrients coming in and switches into growth and construction. It builds muscle stores. Energy produces new proteins, repairs tissue. There is a sensor inside your cells called mTOR, and all you need to know about it is that it is the build switch. When it is on, your body is focused on growing and constructing. The second is cleaning mode. When you have not eaten for a while and energy runs low, a different sensor called AMPK wakes up and says, resources are scarce, time to clean house and recycle what we have. When AMPK activates, autophagy turns on. Your cells shift from construction to cleanup. These two modes work like a seesaw. When one goes up, the other goes down. Your body cannot run both at full power at the same time. They are designed to alternate. And this is exactly why fasting advice always seems to contradict itself. It is one of the most common frustrations I hear. One video says, eat more protein and eat frequently. Another says, fast longer and eat less often. A third says something completely different. And you are left wondering who is right. Here is the truth. They are all talking about the same seesaw, just from different angles. If your goal is building muscle, the advice focuses on keeping the build switch active. More protein, more frequent meals. That is not wrong. It is optimizing for one side of the seesaw. If your goal is longevity and cellular renewal, the advice focuses on giving the cleanup switch more time. Longer fasting windows, less constant eating. That is also not wrong. It is optimizing for the other side. If your goal is weight loss, the advice falls somewhere in between. The real answer is that your body needs both. Building time and cleaning time. Problems happen when you get stuck in one mode for too long. And in modern life, most people are stuck in building mode almost all day, eating from the moment they wake up until right before bed, snacking in between, and then eating again late at night. The cleanup crew barely gets any time to work. Your body is constantly receiving the signal to build, 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 and never getting the signal to clean. So now let us talk about what actually happens when you fast and how long it takes for the cleanup to begin. In the first 8 to 12 hours after your last meal, your body is still processing food. Insulin is dropping. Blood sugar is stabilizing, but your cells have not received a strong enough time to clean signal yet. Autophagy is basically on standby. Between 12 and 16 hours, things start to shift. The stored sugar in your liver starts running low. Your body begins burning more fat for energy. That cleanup sensor, MPK, starts waking up more seriously. And this is when the early stages of cellular cleanup begin. Around 16 hours, something meaningful happens. A 2019 study published in the scientific journal Autophagy found that measurable cleanup activity in immune cells increased substantially after just 16 hours of fasting in healthy adults. Not 48 hours, not 72, 16. Between 18 and 20 hours, the rate of cleanup increases significantly across broader tissue types. Beyond 24 hours, autophagy continues building, but so do stress hormones and the risk of muscle breakdown, especially for people over 50. The benefits start being offset by real costs. So what does this mean for you practically? If you are consistently fasting 16 to 18 hours, you are activating meaningful cellular cleanup every single day. You do not need 48 or 72-hour fasts. Consistency at moderate duration is more valuable for long-term health than occasional extreme efforts. And here is something I really want you to hear. If some days you only manage 14 hours instead of 16, that is still helping. If your weekend timing gets a little messy, you have not ruined the whole week. You do not need perfection. You need direction and consistency over time. Small efforts, repeated regularly, add up to something much bigger than you think. If you are on medications, especially for blood sugar, talk to your doctor before making significant changes to your meal timing. Now, fasting is the foundation, but it is not the only tool you have. There are several ways to amplify cleanup without fasting a single hour longer, and some of these are surprisingly simple. The first is movement during your fasting window. When you exercise while fasted, especially in the last hour or two before eating, you are stacking two cleanup signals on top of each other. Energy stress from fasting plus energy stress from movement. A 2017 study in the journal Nutrients found that fasted exercise amplified autophagy markers significantly compared to the same exercise done after eating, even when total calories and effort were matched. And this does not mean intense training. A 30 to 45-minute brisk walk is enough. A light jog and easy bike ride cannot exercise in the morning. A walk after work still counts. Do not have a gym. Walking around your neighborhood is perfectly fine. Even active housework helps. The bar is much lower than most people think. Have you ever felt that strange mental clarity during a fast, that sharpness that comes out of nowhere? Drop yes or no in the comments. That clarity is your brain running on a different fuel while your cells are in full cleanup mode. The second amplifier is something most people have never heard about, and the science behind it is genuinely fascinating. In August 2024, a research team from more than 20 universities worldwide, led by Sebastian Hofer and Frank Matteo at the University of Graz in Austria, published a major discovery in Nature Cell Biology, one of the most respected science journals in the world. They found that when you fast, your body automatically increases production of a natural substance called spermidine. And this substance turned out to be the key that actually unlocks cellular cleanup. Here is what made the study so striking. When the scientists blocked spermidine production, even while subjects were still fasting, normally the entire cleanup process collapsed. Autophagy did not happen. Lifespan did not increase. Heart protection disappeared. Inflammation stayed high. Fasting without spermidine was like turning a key in a lock that had been removed. Nothing happened. They tested this across yeast worms, fruit flies, mice, and humans through 4 independent clinical studies. Every single one pointed to the same conclusion. Spermidine is the essential bridge between fasting and cellular cleanup. Frank Matteo, the lead researcher, said that his team was genuinely surprised and excited when they saw spermidine levels rise in the blood of fasting human volunteers. It was the missing piece of a puzzle they had been working on for over a decade. Why does this matter for you practically? Because spermidine also exists naturally in food. Mushrooms, peas, aged cheese, and wheat germ all contain meaningful amounts. But the richest food source discovered so far is a Japanese fermented soybean dish called natto. And this connects to something truly remarkable. On the island of Okinawa in Japan, one of the world's 5 blue zones, people regularly live active, healthy lives past 90 and even 100. Their traditional diet is naturally packed with autophagy-promoting foods. Natto green tea, sweet potatoes, turmeric. They also practice harahachi, boo eating until only 80% full, a gentle form of calorie restriction that naturally supports the cleanup side of the seesaw. These centenarians activated their cellular cleanup for generations, not through extreme fasting or expensive supplements, just through food, gentle eating habits, and a lifestyle that gives the body time to clean and rebuild. Their traditions had it figured out long before modern science caught up. The third amplifier is sleep. A 2017 study in Current Biology found that autophagy follows your body's internal clock and peaks during sleep and the overnight fast that comes with it. Even one night of significantly disrupted sleep reduced autophagy activity measurably, especially in the brain. Your brain cells, unlike most other cells, rarely replace themselves. They need to last your entire life, which means keeping them clean through autophagy is especially important. So when you eat late at night and sleep poorly, you are interrupting two cleanup signals at the same time. Just moving your last meal a couple of hours earlier can make a real difference. Cannot do everything every day. That is completely fine. Pick one or two things and stick with them. You do not need a perfect protocol. You need a sustainable one. Now, I want to address something directly because I know some of you are wondering about it. Is fasting stressful for the body? Could it do more harm than good? The answer depends entirely on how much stress we are talking about. There is a concept in biology called hormesis. The idea is straightforward. A small, manageable dose of stress actually makes your body stronger. Exercise is the perfect example. When you lift a weight, you create tiny amounts of damage in your muscle fibers. That sounds bad, but it is actually the signal that tells your body to rebuild those fibers stronger than before. The small stress led to a positive adaptation. Fasting works the same way. A 16 to 18-hour fast is a gentle challenge. It activates your cell's defense and repair systems, including autophagy. You come out of it better than you went in. But a 72-hour water fast while exercising intensely is an emergency. Your body responds completely differently. Cortisol, your stress hormone, rises sharply. Thyroid function can slow down. Muscle breakdown accelerates. You are no longer cleaning house. You are in crisis. So the goal is not more fasting is always better. The goal is the right amount. Enough challenge to activate cleanup. Enough recovery through good food and good sleep to let the repair actually happen. Think of it as a sweet spot. Not too little stress, not too much. Just enough to wake up your body's repair systems without overwhelming them. And you can tell when you have crossed the line. If you are fasting consistently and your strength is dropping, your sleep is getting worse, you feel cold all the time, or your resting heart rate is elevated, those are clear signals. Back off. Eat more for a week or so, then reintroduce fasting gently. Listening to your body is not weakness. It is intelligence. Some people should not fast without medical guidance. Anyone pregnant or breastfeeding, anyone with eating disorders, insulin-dependent diabetes, chronic kidney disease, or anyone significantly underweight. Please talk to your doctor first. This brings us to the most important takeaway from everything we have discussed. And it is beautifully simple. Your body needs time to build and time to clean. Both are essential. And your body already knows how to do both. During the day when you eat and move, you are in building mode. At night when you sleep and naturally fast, you are in cleaning mode. That is the rhythm your body was designed for. The reason so many people feel tired and worn down is not that this system stopped working. It is that modern life accidentally disrupted it. Eating from morning until late at night, snacking before bed, sleeping irregularly. The cleanup crew barely gets a shift. The fix is not dramatic. Build during the day. Eat enough protein, enough nutrients, enough real food to fuel the construction. Your eating window matters just as much as your fasting window, so make it count. Clean during the night. Stop eating a few hours before bed. Protect your sleep. Give the cleanup crew time to work uninterrupted. Move your body regularly, even gently. A daily walk is more powerful than most people realize. Eat real food, especially mushrooms, green tea, berries, and fermented foods. And most importantly, be consistent. Not perfect. Consistent. The small things you do every day matter far more than the extreme things you do once in a while. So tell me in the comments what surprised you most today. Was it the fasting timeline, the Okinawa connection, or the 2024 discovery that spermidine is the key that makes fasting work? Some people prefer daily 16-hour fasts. Others do one longer fast each week. Others focus more on food choices and sleep quality. Where do you stand? Drop your approach below. I'm genuinely curious what is working for you. And if you know someone who keeps pushing through extreme fasts and burning out, send them this video. Sometimes the answer is not to push harder, it is to push smarter. If you want to keep learning about the real science behind how your body works, not the hype, not the trends, just honest biology explained, simply subscribe and turn on notifications. There is so much more to explore together, and every video we make is designed to help you understand your own body a little better than before. Here is what I find most remarkable about all of this. You do not need a lab. You do not need expensive supplements. You do not need to suffer. The most powerful healing system in your body has been there all along, waiting for you to simply stop getting in its way. And once you start paying attention to how your body actually works, you will realize something. The science of your own biology is the most fascinating story you have never been told. And we are just getting started.